uh, couple people, or 20, 50, 100 people that you teach every week, and then you go to these competitions and you just compete or perform, and that's it. I really always wanted to like educate people and teach people on a deeper level, and just share with them more stuff than dance, like go beyond the dance part,
Yeah, yeah.
and and so that's how I created RUR, and that
Yeah.
kind of like fulfilled me way more than just having a normal crew, and it kind of like gave me a path as well, because I always thought that I want to be a choreographer, but I really don't. I don't want to be a choreographer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean, it's interesting like what you what you like to do and like I mean, I feel like I'm in the educational process as well too, you know. I get that's I think what I really want to do at the end of the day as far as education. I just feel like it's so rewarding because it's not only like I don't when I teach classes I'm not like I feel like I'm teaching to a lower thing. I feel like we're in a relationship right now and like we're feeding off each other just as much as you give from me I give back to you, and it's like this the fact is when you ask a question it makes me dive into my own mind, reach out and try and like reach you where you're at, and also try and figure it's like a puzzle piece, but it also is educating myself, you know. So
Yes.
that's the beautiful part about education. So actually, let's get back to this American Music Awards. We went on
An
a
hour and a
tangent.
half. An hour and a half later.
Yeah, I was
American
like,
Music
Wait,
Awards.
so we started with the American Music Awards, but so yeah, T Swizzle.
T Swizzle?
T
What?
Swizzle.
T
Or how I mean, Pop and John would always say, "A Taylor, a Swift."
Um. Yeah. So I was doing the American Music Awards with Taylor Swift this week, and definitely an artist that I didn't like, never expected to like work with.
Yeah.
But I appreciate her, um, like the way she's giving a platform to different kind of styles and dancers, to at this kind of level, because in the performance there was breaking, popping, animation, crump, normal choreography, ballet. So
Yeah.
it was all kinds of styles in this
Damn.
performance, and there was like 40 dancers in this one performance. So I really appreciate artists that give dancers this kind of platform.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was. I mean, we were working on it for the whole week, 9 hours every day. But my part was so small.
Yeah.
I did a little routine with Dassy, and then the final choreography that we did in the performance. But overall, I mean, it was a really great experience.
I kind of want to pull it up on there. I kind of want to. I haven't seen it.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I have not seen the whole
You haven't seen it?
show. I have not seen it.
Is
Yeah.
it up? Do you know?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think I have a link to it as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you? I don't know if you can mirror this. I kind of want to try.
I
Hold on.
know.
Let's try this. Hold up.
I know the link.
Oh, we about to do it right now. Let's see if we can.
Wait, I have the link.
How do we do this?
Ooh, it's not available anymore. The link that I
Oh,
have.
come on.
You know what? Because it's like on a, like official TV, so anytime somebody reposts it on YouTube, they try to take it down right away.
I see.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, you would have to like look up Taylor Swift.
How would I do this?
AMAs. AMAs 2019.
Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. Sorry, y'all. Amateur hour. Hold on.
My name is Chris.
Yeah, they try to always take these performances down because they only want people to be watching on the TV, not on YouTube.
Yeah, because they don't have a deal with YouTube or anything. Let's see. What the hell is this? Okay, well, I guess I have to download YouTube.
Yeah, that's really hard to find this performance.
Yeah. But, okay, well, so how did you feel about it? Like, what was the. So you had, like, how many rehearsals did you have?
So I had 5 rehearsals from Monday to Friday. Saturday we had off, and Sunday we performed. I mean, the choreography changed for me about 400 times. Even the day before, not the day before, the day of the show, the choreography changed a little bit.
What?
So,
How does that happen?
you know, like you have the tech rehearsal on the stage with the costumes, and the big producers and directors are watching the whole show, and when they're like, I feel like this part could be something a little bit different, then you have to change it, right?
Yeah.
This is, I feel like, where a lot of freestyle dancers don't understand why they're not getting booked for these jobs, because a lot of freestyle dancers are not skilled enough to actually.
How dare you?
I'm sorry. I'm
How
sorry.
dare you?
I'm sorry to say this. Like, I'm really blunt and honest right now, especially after this kombucha right here. Okay?
Let it go. Let it go.
Okay,
So they're not skilled enough.
they are not skilled enough in memorizing choreography really fast.
Oh,
where
yeah, no.
where the choreographer
Obviously.
like 3 hours before the show, he gives them a completely new choreography, and they have to pull it off right away on the stage, clean, sharp. And I feel like, like, no offense. No offense, I know I'm sounding a little bit harsh right now, but no offense,
That
a
doesn't
lot
sound
of.
harsh. That sounds real. I mean, hey guys, look, I was at the audition. Yaya and Mia were in the parking lot rehearsing it. I was like trying to get some help from Yaya, because then I realized how bad I was at choreography.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I mean, yeah, I understand sometimes they have like an animation audition and animation choreography, but the choreography changes so much that in reality, a lot of the freestylers are not able to change the whole choreography like 3 hours before show and remember it and perform it and be like look great in it. Like, even I have trouble with it. I had like, I was nervous about the steps and the choreography and being like, okay, I hope I can pull this off.
Yeah.
I hope the camera is not gonna be on me when I'm dancing this part.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the deal. Like, the choreography literally changed for me in the rehearsals. In the 5 days of rehearsals, the choreography changed for me every day. So every day I had a completely new choreography.
That's so tough.
And that's the part that people don't understand, because when they see it on TV, they see the final product and they see the choreography is extremely easy and simple, right?
Yeah.
But the process to it was not easy like that. Maybe the choreography that we are doing on the TV just changed an hour ago.
Yeah.
Oh
wait, I
so
don't know
that's
what this is. Oh, this is some sort of. Maybe they'll catch it.
Kicking things off, singing her feminist anthem, The Man. Swift and a group of young dancers, all wearing white jackets with the names of her first 6 albums. Those albums at the heart of an ongoing feud with her former label, Big Machine Records. Swift recently claimed the label, which owns her master recordings, was trying
She's
to
pretty
block her
though, huh?
from
Oh, yeah,
performing
she's
a medley
really
of her
pretty.
biggest
And
hits
really
at the
tall.
AMAs.
She's
The star
super
turned
tall.
to her fans in a
Super
lengthy
extremely
social
tall.
media post, writing about the record
And
executives.
I really
The message
appreciated
being
her as
sent
well,
to me
because
is
she
very
actually
clear.
requested
Basically,
to
be
take
a
a
good
picture
little
with
girl
every
and
one
shut
of the
up.
dancers
Oh,
before
really?
the performance. Yeah.
I didn't get that.
Yeah. So instead of like us asking her, like, she requested to take picture with us, which was really nice.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 years ago, I mean, she looks the same. I mean, she actually looks prettier now. But, I remember when I met her 5 years ago, it was like, she seems super down to earth. Like, my experience with her, I mean, I feel like I signed a non-disclosure agreement, and I can't be talking about this, like, but, I was like, when I met her at the rehearsals, I was just like, you know, like I shake her hand and she's like smiling super authentically at me, and I'm like, I feel like I want to talk to you, but at the same time, like her security guard's like right here, and I'm like, damn, that, like, and then you know she's like looking into your eyes, and then all of a sudden she kind of like looks at the security guard, and like it's always this, it's like she doesn't know who she can trust, you know, and it was so educational for me in a lot of ways, that in those interactions. I hope my non-disclosure wore off by now. But yeah, it was also like there were certain moments where I was like, dang, she's just such a real person. And that no matter how much fame you get does not buy your security, doesn't buy your confidence. It's like she's a normal person in this weird circumstance of being like one of the biggest pop stars of our generation. It was just really, I like, you look at her now, like in those, and she's so glammed up. I'm like, she's literally a company. That's what I realized as well. I was like, she by herself employs thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people. I think of down to the very, like, you have people in India selling bootleg Taylor Swift CDs. Like, she's employing those people. If she didn't exist, I mean, they'd be selling somebody else's CDs. But at the same time, how much control does she have of where her life goes?
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if we can actually get a little clip.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like.
Or you'll be punished. This is wrong.
I don't really follow her
Borchetta
journey
and
anything, but I looked at her Instagram. Even on Instagram, she has like over 100 million followers.
100 million?
I think so. Yeah. Wait, let me check one more time so I'm not like tripping, but I think so.
Ron, the current owner of Big Machine Records, addressed Swift in an Instagram post, writing, "Since your public statement,
wait, I don't even know what this is. This isn't even what we're trying to watch.
123 million? Like what?
Okay.
I didn't even know. I did not even like know that she has so many followers, you know.
Try and find the performance, but so yeah, 123 million followers.
That is insane. And she follows 0 people.
She did that yesterday. She was trying
she
to
did
show
that
off.
yesterday.
She was just trying to show off. She was following me like last week.
Yeah, no, that is really insane.
It's literally like saying, this is a billboard of Taylor Swift.
Yep.
It's not like, I mean, she can't be on Instagram like that. She can't. But I always feel like I felt bad for her. You know, there was a time at the rehearsals where I was reading this book, and it was my favorite. I actually brought this book because it like was coaching me through stress of the rehearsals at the time. Because like I was like, I don't know why Chris chose me. I'm terrible at choreography. Like it's just the fact of, but I do have good technique. So if I can get the choreo to look good, but it's gonna take me a while, and I'm stressing hella hard. It was actually my last semester of school. I had finals the next week. I was missing the classes, my last 2 classes of every. Wow. I was like, so I was at rehearsal like studying for finals. Wow. But then I had brought this book because I was like, I want to give this book to Taylor. Like I was like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like this book would be great for her, you know. And I like have the book, and I was like looking at her, and she's like in her corner, like, you know, we can't even have our phones, you know. And I was like, dang, like something is telling me she needs this book, and it had like all my handwritten notes in it, like this book is called Stand Like Mountain, Flow Like Water. It looks hella cheesy on the cover. Don't pay attention to the cover. It's like a dude standing and there's like a mountainscape. there's like a lake and there's like a snowy mountain in the back, and he's like wearing a fisher's hat, you know. And I'm like, yeah, I can't recommend this book to nobody. I'm like, you gotta wrap that shit up. But it's a gem, and I had all these handwritten notes, like even dated, like I would write dates on and what I was struggling with at the time, and I was still gonna give it to her. I was like, and then like as soon as I like start to walk over, like her security guard is like, what the fuck? Like I just want to give her this book, and at the same time, I was like, I don't even know if she's gonna hear it, you know.
Yeah.
But it was a trip, you know. It's just a real weird thing that like we build this. Because even the fact that I'm doing that is showing that I'm influenced by her, like whether it's aura or like the circumstance around me, that everything is about that one person.
Did you end up giving her the book?
No, I didn't.
It's so interesting because actually now when she was at rehearsal, she didn't have security guards.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
that was interesting. Like we were free to come up to her and talk to her and stuff. Like I remember like what's his name? Mark Villaver. I hope that I say his name right. Like he would come up to her all the time and talk to her because he's like really chatty and stuff like that. And he just did not care. He would like come to her and talk to her all the time. Yeah. I didn't do it. I didn't come to her like that just because, to be really honest, I don't listen to her music. I don't follow her journey, so I didn't want to like, you know.
Yeah, neither did I.
Yeah, so but it was interesting like that you say that because in these rehearsals like she didn't have any security guy there.
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah.
Was it her mom was probably there though?
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like imagine your mom is like on your journey with you the whole time.
Yeah.
Wonder what that's like. Because I mean it could be good in a lot of ways, but at the same time she's intertwined into everything that you do.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, oh, you meet a cute boy, you like want to sneak off, but like your mom is like, hey mom, like I'll send you another limo to pick you up, or because like I gotta have like a little space. No, I don't even know how that works, you know. A lot of assumptions, but
yeah, for sure.
She like I mean she's making hundreds of millions on tour.
Yeah. She's making so much money. I don't know how her life works. Or any of these celebrities, like it's a trip.
Hundreds of millions. Yeah. Yeah. But their struggles are still like the same, like you were saying in the beginning.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly the same. Yeah.
Because a lot of people I feel like look up to you, you know, in so many ways. I was telling my friend the other day, I was like, it's a trip to me because like, in my eyes, you're one of the best female dancers like of this generation. Is that weird? Is that weird to hear?
Yes, it's really weird to hear. Awkward.
Nah, for me it's like it's a trip because like I've seen you come up and I've seen you progress, but at the same time I'm like, I don't know too many people that can freestyle and do choreo and navigate both those worlds, you know. Yeah, still like be able to go raw and then be also cookie cutter. Like that's, I don't know, that's beyond some Gene Kelly shit, you know. Like Gene Kelly was like, he had the triple threat, you know, acting, singing. You ever think about getting into that stuff, like acting?
Into acting? Yeah, I actually recently bought online acting classes.
Oh shit! Okay.
Because I was recommended to do that. So I was doing this photo shoot, video shoot with Monsters Convention that I work for and I teach for. And when I was doing the video shoot, they were like, okay, like you need to get into acting. Like you have supernatural talent for that. And so I have a really bad experience from my first acting audition. So that's why I never pursue acting career. And
it's crazy how that works, right? You get one bad experience and you're like, man, it's not for me.
Yeah. So they recommended me this teacher that specialized in commercial, and they were like, oh, he has online classes, so you can try the online classes first before you go to like the real classes, you know, stuff like that. Because also I travel a lot, so for me to have a regular schedule is really difficult, which is sometimes hard, you know, because sometimes I would love to have like regular of something, of classes or
regular anything.
Oh, regular anything, but I can't have regular anything because I'm just like, I don't know when I will be gone, you know. So I bought this online acting classes, which I haven't looked at it yet, but I have it in my computer, about to look at it soon, you know. So I would love to get into that industry and realm for sure, because there has been just way too many people around me that has been telling me that I should get into that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just more work. I mean, you know, it's kind of one step further. You know, you freestyle. That's kind of the raw essence of dance. But if you can do choreo, you got some work. But if you can act, there's another. It's like revenue streams, you know.
Yeah.
But like freestyle dancers, like I don't know. For me, don't you feel like it's like the essence? Like it's what we love to do, right? I mean, do you think you love freestyle more than choreo?
As right now, it is phase of my life, yes. But there was a phase of my life where I loved choreography more than freestyle.
Like,
yeah.
What? I'm so curious because like, I mean, I have no experience in that world, but like the little taste I get of it, I'm like, why do people like this? Why the fuck do people like this? When I do it, I mean, it's probably because I don't do it enough, but I literally don't feel like I'm dancing. I don't feel like I'm dancing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like I'm trying to hit this thing. I'm like, I'm so in my head, you know?
Yeah.
It could just be the fact that I'm just like not in it enough, you know?
I will be really honest. I definitely think that freestyle is way, way, way harder than choreography. Choreography to me is really easy, and I really do believe that any freestyler can learn choreography and can learn how to pick up choreography fast and how to, you know, how to execute it like that. Like, because in reality, it is just like a copy and paste kind of situation, you know?
Yeah.
Which the copy and paste kind of situation, the more you do it, the more you get into it, the better you will get in it, you know. So it doesn't require really a real skill. It just requires like the determination of getting into the classes and not afraid to really like do it for a couple of weeks and months before you get good at it, you know. I think I don't know exactly how to answer the questions of like why do people like it so much, but I think that maybe the reason why people like it so much and a lot of people might not realize it is because it is so easy and it is so easy to get so good at it. It is also easy to get really popular at it as well, you know. And all the dancing world in the industry in getting the jobs is about the choreography. Like there is rarely a job when they are going to hire you for a specialty that you have and let you do really your specialty. Usually, even if they hire you for a specialty, you still have to choreograph it.
Yeah.
For the camera and for the location, for the light and all of that, you know. So yeah, it is really in reality, it's really what. First of all, you can get good at it really fast. You can get famous for it. You can get a lot of jobs for it. You can get a lot of money for it, and if you can teach it, you can travel the world with it, you know. So I think that's what really brings a lot of people's attention, because it is way, way harder to actually get good at freestyle and to get good at certain style, or to win battles, or to like to get famous for freestyle dance. It's extremely hard. Yeah, because that takes years of skills. Like you actually have to be skilled to be a good freestyle dancer. You don't have to be skilled to be a good choreography dancer. And not to be cocky, but it comes from a dancer that actually can do choreography really good, you know.
Damn.
I know a lot of people watching this, especially American people, is gonna be like, "Dang, Jaja, it's mean.
Just fucking.
It's so mean."
No, but that's. I mean, I like to hear that because I'm a freestyler. But no, I think. Yeah, it's interesting to me though because I watch people do choreo and I'll be like, dang, they gotta be a dope dancer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like, fuck, that shit is hard. Like, and then you ask them to, like, for me as a freestyler, like, if I learn a choreo,
Mm-hmm.
I could flip that 10 different ways.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, even the choreo for the audition, you give me that and you give me freedom,
Mm-hmm.
like, of counts. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't give me counts, but just, okay, give me your interpretation of that framework that we just gave you. I could come up with 15 different ways. Like, I'll do it different every time. And it'll be better on the 15th time. But then, like, you ask a choreo dancer to do it. Like, okay, yeah, just freestyle that, though. They would be like,
Yeah, they're a lot of times they're like super afraid to freestyle it, you know.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people would try to argue with me on like, well, it's not that easy, or it's not that easy to make freestyle dancer to do a choreography and stuff. But I have proofs, you know. And one of the best proofs is actually B Dash, who used to be Twin Taras, and he used to be freestyle only, hardcore freestyle, no choreography. Like, he was trying to do choreography, it just wasn't.
I was actually
like
there at your house when he was first doing it. Him and Concrete, like.
Yeah, him and Concrete, and then I remember it was like 2012 when they were asking me like, okay, so how do we get good at choreo? And I told them like, just go to these studios and take as many choreography classes as you can, you know. And now look at them, like, they do choreo on a regular basis, any kind of way that they want. Yeah, they can do it this way, that way. Like, they can change it up. They can do it exactly like the teacher does, you know. And they can learn it like this, like, super quick, you know. It's like, it's a proof that you can learn like how to pick up choreography fast in a couple of weeks. It's easy.
Yeah, and still remain like fucking sick ass freestylers too, which is crazy to me. Like, cause like I'll see Concrete on World Dance or something, and then like I'm in Argentina, and then like the homie who crumps down there is like, yo, this is the illest crump round I ever seen. And I was like, oh, who is it? You know, it's Concrete. And he shows me this round. I don't know, you probably know this round. Of course you know this round. But like, he hands the hat. Yeah, everybody goes to that round. Like, how did he do that? And I was like, I don't know. I have theories, but that's as good as it gets, right? There's no like, oh, that's how he did it. But that's so cool when you can develop a dance off like, oh, I think this is how he did it, right? It's like some sort of magic trick, you know? Yeah, no, I mean, these guys, B-Dash and Concrete, were like, I remember we'd go to overhype sessions. Like, I went with you a couple times the overhype sessions. I think it's Torrance, right?
Yep.
To me, at least what I've seen, like, a lot of people don't know this, but actually, like, I had been around Crump for a long time, like since 2006, before I graduated high school. Like, I would just sit in the dance room and watch my friends crump. And at high school parties, it was either they were crumping in circles, or it was turfing, like hyphy. Like, the hyphy movement was just, it was at its all-time high, because we had a couple kids that were going from like their family in the Bay, and they would come down and we would just party like that, you know. But it was like the dancers, like, most of them were crumpers, and we'd actually have crump battles like at our high school at lunch, and we thought it was a fight, you know. Like, we'd come over and be like, what the fuck is going on? And then like, we're like, oh shit. Like, it was just like this controlled fight. It was almost the same atmosphere as fighting, and then the security would come, and then like, what you gonna break up, man? What you gonna break up? It was just kind of like a trick on everybody, because everybody's like, oh, and everybody, because that's the same, you would get the same energy across the whole lunchtime, like, area. Like, there was all these cliques in high school, like, where you would chill, and it was like, that's your area. But when you would have this energy that would just radiate across, you thought it was for sure a fight. So everybody would be running over there, and you would be like, then everybody would crowd around, and it was like, oh shit, they're dancing. And then it was like, then I was like, dang, like, what are you guys doing?
Yep.
You know, and I'd ask questions. But I had seen Rise like early on, like 2005 or something. And that was actually from a girl at my church was like, oh, we're gonna go watch this documentary after church, you know? Like, do you want to come? And I was like, documentary? What's that? It's just like so young, you know? Like it's like real life, you know? And I was like, oh, okay. I was so stupid. Then they're like, oh, Rise, and like this is like a dance movement. And I was like, oh, okay. And yo, you're gonna die when you get this. So like we're watching Rise, and these are my like childhood friends from when I was born, and they're all musicians. Like they can play any instrument. They pick up the whole family, right? And so like the father is this like amazing craftsman, builds houses and shit, and like is always like doing the most. Like he had this dope ass projection, so they would project across the wall, right? And this is like early, you know. This is like it's common now, but this is like the first shit. So you're like, you have a screen the size of a wall. It's crazy. So then we're watching Rise, and then right after, like I was so hyped. Like it changed my life, you know. Like after that movie, I literally started watching dance. Before that, I didn't watch dance. So then there was one, I think it was the highlight clips at the end. I haven't really even watched the documentary since then. So then there was like a highlight clip, and they did like the suicide, you know, where they like do a front flip into a flat.
Yeah.
And it's not even really associated with crump. But I was like, I'm gonna do that. Flip those all across the floor. And I was like, and I like totally landed wrong. It's like, doom. Like, I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, damn. I didn't cuss back then, obviously. It was a church household. But I was like, I definitely hurt myself.
That is so funny.
Yeah, but I was so inspired by the movement. Like, it was so raw. And then, I was kind of around it from then on. But it's a trip. Like, to see it, like, even the first crumpers that I saw were Ruin and Outrage.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and like they're still
there. Still
my favorite, like two of my favorite crumpers, you know. And that there was like some battle out in Riverside at a church, you know. But I was getting out of religion at the time, so I was like, yeah, it was a weird time, I think, in the crump history. I don't know how they look at it now. How do they look at it? Like, because it kind of went religious. Or, I mean, it generated from. I don't know if you're well versed on this history, but because it kind of like was like in religion, and then it went to religion, and it came out.
So when I joined Crump in 2013, it was still very religious. We still like dance in church sometimes, I remember.
Yeah.
But then I think it was maybe around 2016 when it turned really non-religious, and I feel like it just came from the life experience of Tyrus, which is the main creator. Yeah, Tyrus and Miho are considered the creators, but it's kind of like whatever Tyrus direction goes to, Crump goes that way as well. So in 2015-16, it kind of take the turn of really being a non-religious dance at a time, because he had some life experiences that turned him non-religious.
Non-religious.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, by non-religious, you don't mean anti-religion? You mean more like open spiritual? Or like, because before it was like really Christian.
Yeah. So I know that he had a really bad experience with the church where he was going to with the pastor, and he had a really bad experience with the pastor as well. So he kind of like, I don't know what is it exactly. I think it's just because he had such a bad experience with the church and with the pastor, it kind of turned him against the religion. Not super anti-God, but anti-religion.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's the move, though. Honestly, I feel like that's the move. Like, religion in itself, you see it in like the vegan community a lot as well. It's like, are we discussing this, or are we being religious about it? You know, like the idea of discussing something like openly and hearing other people is not religious. Religious is like, it feels like the blinders are on, you know. It feels like this is how we do it. Versus like, okay, for me, I don't know. I just feel like this whole experience of life, like being alive in this body, the fact that I'm speaking from a place that does not reflection, it's not a reflection of how my facial structure is. It's not the way I shave my beard. It's not the clothes that I wear. It's literally like beyond all this physical reality. We're all experiencing life. Pause. Pause. And we're like really trying to just figure it all out, you know. And the fact is, like, being religious, like, it's kind of, it's just not, it's like you gave up on questioning. It's like, dude, there's a lot of fucking questions. I got questions for days. I got so many questions. And they're formulating daily. It's like, but I think that's, I've been debating on what to call this thing. But like, I always think like, stay curious, right? If you can stay curious, then you basically are in control of your motivations. Right? Because the curiosity is what inspires. Innately, right? You can't just sit there and just question, like, if you really wonder what's going on, you're gonna go figure it out. So if you can stay curious, like, because for me it was kind of this mantra I had when I used to travel, like especially in like Vietnam, and I'd be like super depressed and shit, and I'd be like I can't talk to anybody in English, or maybe one or two people, and I was like, yo, just stay curious, man. Just stay curious.
That is so crazy that you say that, because that is definitely one word that is like always following me around in my life, is the curiosity. Like anytime, everywhere, just stay learning, stay wondering about stuff, stay being educating about stuff, you know. I think a lot of like what happens a lot is that people get to a certain education, especially in their college, you know, and then they stop, and then they're like, okay, this is what I know and this is what I pursue, and that's it, you know. And I feel like people always should stay like curious and always learning, you know, because there's literally so many things that we don't know about, or we can learn, you know, in our life. It's crazy.
I think this is the only time I made my dad think. It was this conversation I had with him. It was like, nah, I make him think. But as far as, there was one time where I had him like, where he's like kind of stuck, you know, and it was kind of a statement that I made. We were just out at dinner, and I was like, if you claim to know, then, I mean, are you still open-minded, right? Because if you claim to know something, like, you know, definitely, no questions, then it's what? Yeah, you're no longer open-minded. So that's like when I say, oh, like even in hip hop, we value knowledge. Knowledge. But like, to know. What do you think about like hip hop culture? Like, is it evolving? Like where does it go from here? That's my question. Is I'm always like, I see we're so concerned with preserving. Like, oh, this is how it was done. That's the way it's supposed to be. I'm like,
is it really? Yeah. So what changed my mind a lot, and what opened my mind a lot recently, was watching the hip hop evolution documentary
Netflix,
on Netflix, right?
I was like, damn, if I don't watch this, I'm really not hip hop. I got to. Like, it's on Netflix. I'm gonna have my mom and dad just like, have you seen the Netflix documentary? I'm like, how you know more about hip hop than me? How you know?
Oh,
Random people on the
that's
street know more hip hop than me. I'm like, I gotta watch it.
That's so funny. But yeah, what opened my mind a lot when I watched the documentary was that basically my understanding of what hip hop was and is always pretty much innovating and bringing something new and different to the table, right? And even back in the day when like Outkast or E40 were bringing something new to the table, it was not accepted right away. Maybe until their like third, fourth, or fifth album, when people were like, okay, this is hip hop, you know?
Yeah.
When they were actually able to stuck to what they do and they stuck to their art and they kept doing it, then people had no other choice but to accept it. But every artist that ever got famous or known for it brought something different to the table. Even when Outkast first came and they brought like the really shiny clothes and stuff like that, it really wasn't hip hop at the time, right?
Yeah.
But because they stuck to it, now it's like it was so mind blowing to me because I would never even nowadays before I watched the documentary I would never even thought of Outkast and E40 ever being not hip hop, you know, or even some of the other artists, you know, and like even MC Hammer, like at the time when he was coming up, he was not considered hip hop at all, and now he's one of like the definitions of hip hop, you know. But at the time he was not at all, you know. So that really opened my mind when, especially when E40 was talking about how different he was, how people didn't know how to react to his art and music, and it took time before people accepted it, you know. So that's when really opened my mind. I was like, okay, hip hop is really about creating something new and innovative and sticking to it and believing in it until people actually accept it, you know. Yeah, that documentary really opened my mind. So for me, yeah, like it is important to know the history and the knowledge, but also as much as knowing the history and knowledge, it is important to really think about who you are and creating something of from who you are, from your art, your perspective, your thing, and really believing in it, believing in your creation as much as in your imitation, you know. Yeah.
Preach. Preach.
My God.
Preach. Nah, like for me it's interesting because like even now, like I was just at freestyle session, you know.
I'm so sad I missed it, by the way.
Yeah, that was dope. Yeah, like I was only there the first day. The second day I didn't go. But yeah, the first day, like, I mean, Rock Swoop was dropping fire. Oh my God, the fucking beats are crazy. But I find myself like really kind of like falling away from battles. I figure it's a phase. It's been that way for a couple years, but yeah, like there's a certain trance that I go into, especially when I'm nervous, and it's like this flow state of like tuts and waves and fucking lines because I'm trying to overload my consciousness with detail, so I get lost in the fucking music and lose sight of the kind of social awareness that I have. I just try and go into my own world, and it gets more and more complex, more and more flowy, and I'm like my awareness of like hitting and popping is almost like I come out of it like, oh shit, I forgot to pop, bang, like, so it's not like it's not part of my flow, you know. So the way my style is going is not gonna win me popping battles at all. So it's like, do I just keep going? Because it's not getting reinforced by the external world. So like all these people, like, you see like these rappers and the Hip Hop Evolution documentary, artists, like there's so many artists that just said fuck it and never get recognized. But then there's some that make it like crazy. It's like this risk reward type thing.
Yep.
You root down in like crump and in different ways. Like how do you keep your art attached to like what people like still? Because you know, you could tell, like you can feel it, like in the audience. You're like, oh, like almost all your showcases, you time it like you got it. You know the audience is ready for it. You're just like you feel this bubble's about to just like I'm a pop it. It's like, and it's always like a blow up, you know.
So I still like to be really honest, I think I do have the recognition in the dance world in general, but in crump, I will be really honest, I don't have the recognition or the respect that I wish for, or the respect that other girls or other crumpers get, you know. And it is because my crump is so different from other girls, or from the norm that crump should look like, you know. My crump is always considered too controlled, too robotic, too animated, too stationary, too, you know, just outside of the norm, you know. And so I definitely battle in the realm of like sometimes I feel myself going more towards the kind of crump style that the crump world wants, but in reality that's not what I want to do, you know. I want to do the robotic, the controlled, the animated crump. That's what I want to do, and that's not what is being respected. But again, when I was watching the Hip Hop Evolution documentary, and I watched especially the E4, the interview, when I watched that, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. And, you know, it's going to, one day it's going to get respected, you know.
Yeah, you just gotta ride that wave.
Yep.
Damn, that's so crazy.
Yeah. But I totally feel you on what you mean by, like, I could always see your popping style not going the popping norm way. Like you have your own unique style, you know. And in popping battles, there is not much room for that, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting because like when I watch popping battles, I'm like, and I think it's also partly why my style goes like that, you know, because I'm like, well, there's a big difference between what you look like and what you feel like when you dance, you know, what the audience is experiencing versus like what it feels like to just do that, you know, like that. How can you, like, when somebody comes up to me and like, or somebody talks shit or about my dance, I mean, like there'll be some shit talkers, but always, but I'll just be like, I don't blame you. Honestly, I don't like the look of my dance either. I do it because how it feels, you know. So like, even if OGs have critiques like, hey, you gotta pop harder, or you gotta do this and that, I'm like, oh, like it reflects how they feel.
Yeah.
It's their issue. It's not my issue.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
like that's partly, I think, even for the people watching, it's kind of like understand when somebody's critiques, it's partly, it's not objective. It's just, it's their issue. So what do you like about your dance? Kind of like when it comes to that, figure out like what you actually like to feel. You know. And I was talking to somebody earlier today about it. I was like, you know, I made top 16 in all open styles and freestyle session, and I didn't go the second day. I texted Evie, so I was like, yeah, just give my spot to somebody else if you can. You know, I was just like, like I just don't. I don't feel the desire to. You know, like I'm hanging out with some other friends that don't really dance, and I was just like, I just don't feel like I'm being heard. You know, that's really what it is. So at the same time, I'm just like, at this point in the game, I'm just like, I like dancing in my backyard. I like fucking working out hard as shit. And just like, that's good enough for me. But at the end of the day, like when it comes to what you were saying, it's not going to make the money.
Yeah.
So, thus, we are here in my office where I work. And it's kind of catch-22. Yeah, because there's always going to be shit you don't like.
Yeah, for sure, 90%. And yeah, I can totally feel that, because even the open style is kind of, there's some kind of expectations and requirements and norm to what you need to do in your rounds, you know. I mean, in the end of the day, it's only 45 seconds. What can you really do in your 45 seconds, you know? Like, if you are a really, really advanced, high-level dancer, then you will understand that 45 seconds is like, you know.
It's a blip in time.
Exactly, you know. So what can you really do in that, you know? And then it's a different kind of like mastery and skills to be actually good at an actual dancing and freestyle and good at 45 seconds rounds. That's completely different mastery, you know.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like with me where I stand with Crump too, you know. Like when I train in actual Crump, it's completely different than if I train for like events like EBS or ILS, when I get just 45 seconds. The training is completely different, because having a 45-second Crump round is completely different than what I do usually, you know.
Yeah. Well, like even at the overhype sessions that we went to, it was like, there's no time limit here.
Yeah.
Like, motherfuckers were going like 20 rounds and shit, and I was like, yeah, there's bound to be 45 seconds of whackness. Like, where if you just took that 45-second clip and you put it out, like you get like no views. But then there's those magical moments like that trump all the rest, and you're only gonna remember that. Boom. Yeah, it could be 10 seconds where you only remember that, and you're like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. Like, that's it.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So wait, before we end this, before we end this, side tangent. What is this?
That's the salad dressing.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is.
So that's made out of tahini, organic miso. Everything's organic, of course, you know. Tahini, organic miso, some organic mustard, some garlic, salt and pepper, raw unfiltered honey.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Raw unfiltered. Damn.
That's one of my favorite salad dressings that I put on anything, and it just tastes good because it hits all the taste buds, you know.
I'm probably gonna be sacrilegious and put that on some eggs, you know.
But you know what? It's gonna be really good on eggs. Yeah.
It's probably gonna be good on anything, I bet.
And just normal salad, you know, some spinach, peppers, cucumber, couscous, a little bit of avocado oil, salt and pepper, you know, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds.
So my question is like how and why? Why? Avocado oil. Why?
Oh, avocado is in there too, you know.
Oh my god.
Why avocado oil?
Holy shit. I don't know if it's just because I'm super hungry, but that shit smells amazing. Avocado? So did you like research all these ingredients? Is that why? Or did you just like kind of follow recipes, or why are you so damn healthy? Holy, real cacao, huh?
Real cacao.
Jeez.
Only real cacao. We don't do cocoa in my house, okay?
Cocoa.
No, I just you know, again, like curiosity. I just really learn, research. I listen to a lot of interviews with holistic healers, instead of just like asking Google. I think listening to real experiences and real interviews is way better than
Podcasts are the
asking.
shit.
Yeah, than asking Google. You know,
Yeah.
Google will give you some shit that you don't
Yeah,
know.
Google's fucked up.
Yeah,
Man.
if you can trust or not.
You just
know.
got me on some futuristic shit.
Yeah.
I was like, I just thought to myself, you know how like there's this whole podcast revolution.
Mhm.
I guess there's this whole podcast revolution, but it's like this. It's a trip. Maybe one day, you know, like the future of AI and technology is actually going to be able to filter through all the words ever said through podcasts and things like that, where you can, it will narrow down your search better than Google could, you know, or maybe Google just gravitates towards audio, you know, where you get sound bites of this, where it'll know when a subject starts and when it ends within a 3-hour segment. Damn. And then you can really learn shit. Because I feel like I have a PhD, like, so I've spent more time listening to podcasts than I've ever spent time in school. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Technically, I have a PhD in a lot of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, I didn't do like reports and actual applied research, but I'm actually, well versed in a lot of things, opposed to the past.
Yeah.
So wait, you didn't actually tell us what's in this shit. So this is chocolate cake.
So the base of the chocolate cake is a spelt.
Looks freaking amazing.
It's spelt flour, real cacao, some coconut oil, some dates, pretty much.
And that holds it all together. The dates hold it all together. Spelt flour.
Apple cider vinegar and baking soda as well.
Why apple cider vinegar?
So apple cider vinegar and baking soda, that combination is a lot of vegan recipes, and I think that's something that holds it together as well.
It helps it rise, right?
Yeah.
It's probiotic.
Yeah.
Because the apple cider vinegar
and the dates hold it together as well.
Yeah.
So that dates. and then I think the coconut oil as well, you know, because coconut oil hardens, you know.
Matter of fact, hold on.
The chocolate on
Let's
top of
do
it
a
is
live
a real
test of
cacao and coconut oil and just water.
Look at the. This is.
And by the way,
moist.
it only takes about 20 minutes to make.
20
this
minutes.
Cake, you know.
Hold on. That is fire. And this is vegan, right?
Yep. Super vegan.
Why is my hand so big it can't fit in there? Wow. I love the coconut oil because like the icing like really melts when it hits your mouth, you know? That melting point like releases. Woo-hoo. I'm a mess. That's good. Hold on, one more. You can be vegan and eat hella good.
Oh, for sure. I don't eat nasty vegan food. I eat only really good, healthy, no junk vegan food.
You mean you don't eat Cheez-Its?
I don't really eat vegan cheese, no.
I was saying Cheez-Its.
Oh, Cheez-Its. I don't eat Cheez-Its, no.
Those are vegan, right? They're probably vegan.
I don't think so, no.
No, they're probably
I know
not.
Oreos are vegan, but I can't even eat Oreos. Oreos are nasty to me.
Yeah. No. Oreos are terrible. I don't know. I probably eat
like
one
the
though.
taste. I tried it recently and I spit it out because I was like, I can't eat it.
It's so sweet though. That's why.
I taste the chemicals too, like everything. It's just wrong.
That's what happens when you start to eat healthy. It's like your whole world changes.
Everything changes, yeah.
Yeah, you can taste it like, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all types of shit I don't eat anymore. Wow. You got food for dinner? Well, thank you, Yaya.
Thank you. Thank you, Daniel.
Oh, man, I'm so glad you came on.
Oh, yes.
So anyways, this is when you give your shout out to my 100 followers. Like, what? How do they follow you, Yaya? Because they don't already follow you.
So, Instagram at Jaja Vankova, Facebook Jaja Vankova, YouTube Jaja Vankova, everything's Jaja Vankova. Yeah.
Check out her Alliance,
Yes,
RUR.
RUR right here.
Bang.
Representing RUR
She's
Alliance.
traveling around teaching workshops. She's hella educational, y'all. Check her out. She's a dope ass teacher. I've been learning some crump. I'm coming for y'all. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.